Hi, I'm Tyson.
And I'm Mike. And we argue with dragons.
Welcome back, listeners.
Hello.
This is Tyson and Mike coming at you from Arguing with Dragons.
I am indeed Mike, coming at you from Arguing with Dragons.
Yes. Episode 6, Mike.
Is it?
Is it? We have had 6 whole episodes of this shenanigans.
And I had 6 whole birthdays before I realized that my mom was not named Mom.
Well, that's okay. I mean, who really calls their mom by their first name anyway?
I did for about a year, but then I was a super edgy teenager.
One of those.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't let him fool you. He is still a super edgy teenager.
Only in my mind.
You've had a good week, Mike?
Mostly.
Yeah.
Granted, it is Monday.
It is Monday. We record on Mondays, folks. So this gives Mike and I something to look forward to every week.
That it does.
And
but to answer your question, it's the first day of the week.
Yeah, but it kind of takes the edge off of a Monday, don't you think?
You know, it really takes the edge off a Monday.
What's that?
A gigantic glass of Captain Morgan. Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're sipping on tonight?
No, I ran out.
Oh, I don't really drink hard liquor anymore. Not my thing.
Never enjoyed beer, so there's but one option, and I'm not a wino, so.
All right. So, Mike, are you enjoying where the podcast is going?
Yeah. I can say with my whole chest that I am greatly enjoying the discussions we're having.
Well, that's
really introspecting on the things that we love so much.
So tonight, what are we talking about tonight, Mike?
We're talking about Digimon.
Digimon, digital monsters.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, wrong one. Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Which came
Same
first?
Thing. Actually, I think Pokemon did.
I would hope so, because I feel like the whole Mon thing kind of became a thing after Pokemon.
Well, I don't know. I think Jamaica had it first.
Oh, yeah, Mon. Okay. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Pokemon, the international sensation that took hold of the United States somewhere around 1998, 1999, year 2000, and has just, much like herpes, has stuck around with us all the way to 2026.
There's another joke that your wife's going to have to explain to your daughter.
My wife has listened to a few episodes of the podcast and it has quickly turned it off when Mike or I have said something really stupid about, stupid stuff.
Or jokes about...
Yes, Mike was censored a few times in our last episode, ladies and gentlemen. Or a few episodes ago, I should say. And that's okay. Sometimes he goes a little bit AWOL, and I'm like a good fisherman, I reel him back in. He's like my Magikarp. You just got to keep fishing for him and reeling him in.
Except nobody wants the Magikarp. They want that Goldeen.
I'm still waiting for you to turn into the evolved form of Magikarp.
Why would I do that?
You don't want to be a giant dragon?
That's
you want to be a
dragon.
Gyarados?
It's not a dragon.
Oh, Gyarados is too a dragon.
Nope. Pure water type. Go ahead, look it up.
Is Gyarados a dragon type? Is not a dragon type. He's a water flying. Oh my gosh.
Sucker.
I know, I'm a loser. All right, folks. So Pokemon, if you're one of those uninitiated folks out there, and that's okay if you are. This podcast is for everybody. It was
even
released,
people that do live under rocks.
Yes, if you live under a rock, that's okay. I mean, there are really pretty rocks out there. So Pokemon was a series of cartridge games released in 1996 in Japan and again in 1998 in America. And it was, in typical Nintendo fashion, a little bit revolutionary at the time. So it was released by a producer called Game Freak and published by Nintendo. And it revolved around using a trading link cable. And at the time, this was like, oh my gosh, you can do this? You could take this cord and plug into both of your Game Boys and trade your Pokemon. You catch them in the wild in this game, and you build them up and get them getting strong, and then you just give them out to your friends.
And the entire franchise is built around the idea that you could only catch certain ones on certain versions of the game.
Yes, that was playground capitalism at its finest.
Absolutely. And playground warfare, because there was that one kid who complained to the principal about somebody stealing his cards, and therefore cards got banned.
See, they never got banned at my school. We traded Magic the Gathering cards, Marvel superhero cards, and I'm sure that turned into Pokemon cards later.
I know the
We
Pokemon cards were a big thing at my school, and they got banned because, that kid complained to the principal.
God, that his cards got stolen.
Mhm.
Or maybe he shouldn't have been such a little wuss.
Yeah, and I remember distinctly hearing the announcement because I was devastated, and the principal said, "Pokemon."
Still to this day gets me when somebody calls it Pokemon.
Yeah.
Where you got any of them Pokemon cards? So I work for a retailer, ladies and gentlemen, and my retail establishment actually does sell Pokemon cards. And almost on a weekly basis, somebody comes in, if we got any in, and buys every single one that we have. Still to this day in 2026.
Quick question.
What's
Is
that?
that guy wear glasses, have a beard, long hair, and wear a hat?
That describes maybe 3 of the people who come in
Ah,
and do
okay.
this.
Well, I know him.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's a small world after all.
Indeed.
So, after the first Red and Blue were a massive success and the TV show started to air in '97, Nintendo put out Pokemon Yellow, which took a new spin on the game and had Pikachu, one of the crowning little, Pokemon's Mickey Mouse, and this little turd would just follow your character around just like the TV show, and it was definitely a collaborative effort between Nintendo and this game manufacturer
Yes,
to
indeed.
overmarket the shit out of this to children. And maybe I'm not gonna pronounce his name right, but Satoshi Najiri or Tajir,
Let me look here.
he was
Uh,
the creator of Pokemon.
I'm looking. I can't see where it's written. There it is. Satoshi Tajiri.
Yeah, I am not very good with the pronunciations, folks. I'm sorry about that. And he built the game based around childhood bug collecting.
It's
Do you think
actually
he
kinda neat.
do you think he took, like, bugs and put them in a pen and made them fight each other?
I would hope not.
I mean, I would think that that would be illegal, but, I mean, maybe not, they're bugs.
Michael Vick Jr.
The core concept, was supposed to be about collecting creatures, but as we'll talk about, the game quickly devolved into dog fights, chicken fights, and whatever other animal you can put to beat the living tar out of each other,
As well as
and
complete degeneracy because of a certain rule that I'm sure a lot of you know about.
what's that rule?
Rule 34.
Oh, no, let's not talk about that.
I'm not going to, I'm just saying, that's pretty degenerate. A lot of people lean heavily into it.
Yeah, we won't talk about that. If you don't know what rule for 34 is, ladies and gentlemen, go into private mode on Google Chrome and then look it up. Do
Or
not
if
let
you're
that
feeling brave, go to regular Chrome.
yeah, don't let that end up in your search history. Anyway, Pokemon, the TV show, then premiered in 1997 and featured a protagonist named Ash Ketchum. He was what, 13,
I
10?
think it was 10.
A 10-year-old boy was the star of the show. And I don't know. Mike, I got a real problem with this mom just kicking her 10-year-old boy out to go live his life and wander the countryside with dangerous animals running around.
Well, just about every ancient civilization known to humankind, children were expected to be able to fight.
Okay, but a 10-year-old to just be
Yeah.
like, "Here, go off on your quest around the world. You may never see me again, but, who cares, right?"
Hell, in feudal Japan society, samurai were expecting their as young as 6-year-olds to actually participate in hunts.
Hmm. Well, that's supervised. Nobody was supervising poor Ash. They just gave him a Pokemon and sent him on his way.
Yeah, that's child abandonment, but things are
Yeah.
different in Japan.
I tell you though, folks, it was a good show. It really was cute. It was fun. It had a lot of memorable moments, and you'll never get the Team Rocket theme out of your head after you hear
Well,
it
because they
once.
say it every single episode.
Yes.
Literally every single episode.
It was a very classic comedy relief villain, and
Yes,
that's,
absolutely.
never really menacing, but trying to be menacing, but coming off stupid and funny.
Well, it's revealed in a later episode that their entire little jingle that they nauseatingly repeat every single episode is actually incorrect the way they say it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the way they word it just makes it kind of sound almost invigorating, almost inspiring. But in reality, the real Team Rocket's motto is a little more despot and tyrant like.
That's because they were despots and tyrants.
Real Team Rocket was, yes, but
They were
Jesse and James
thieves.
were absolute stooges compared to the rest of them.
No, you're absolutely right. So, Mike and I both enjoy Pokemon quite thoroughly, and we're gonna touch mainly today, folks, on Generation 1. because we're old and we were alive during the Pokemania hype of 99 to 2000. So
Yes, we were.
we saw the birth of this, and we got to witness it turn into the abomination that it is today.
Yes, we did.
Now, I'm gonna start with the games.
Go for it.
If you had an Alakazam,
Sure.
you were basically you had the game beaten. You were God. You were done.
There were a few others that were pretty damn good.
Well, did you know though that Ghost type were supposed to be the counter for Psychic? But
They got it
Nintendo
backwards.
Nintendo fucked it up, and,
The Game Freak fucked it up.
somebody fucked it up because the Ghost type were not immune to psychic damage like they were supposed to be.
Yeah, in fact, they were weak to it.
And yeah,
And
you
then, actually, one episode of the show, or a couple episodes of the show, they talk a big game about how psychic types are so weak to ghost types.
yeah,
But you
and
play the
then
game and you're like, "Huh, I got this in the bag. I saw this episode. Wait, how did I lose?"
yeah, it's pretty bad because that, little Alakazam sitting there with a spoon in his hand just messed
2
up
spoons.
everything. Everything.
That indeed. To be
Critical
honest, though, if I had an Alakazam in real life, I would ask it to impart its IQ of 4,000 upon me.
I don't know, you'd be too dangerous if you're actually smart.
Well, tell that to the bunker bomb I put under your house. I mean, what?
I mean, what? Where's that hole at? I saw the hole earlier.
I
So
swear that's a coincidence.
the critical hit formula was broken in this game.
That it was.
They tied it to the speed attribute. So if your Pokemon was fast, he was always crit hitting, and it quickly unbalanced the game. There was a lot of soft locks with wrap and binding. So if your Pokemon could wrap, like if you had a snake Pokemon, you could just freeze up your opponent and have nothing happen. Um, and then there was a major glitch in this game, a major, major glitch that just every young nerd who's played Red and Blue knows about. You want to talk about that glitch, Mike?
Sure do. Missing no.
What do you know about missing no?
What I know about Missing No is that it was a remnant of a Pokemon they were going to implement into the game, but they could not because of time constraints, if memory serves. It was time constraints that destroyed the idea. They were going to implement a breeding system where you could have 2 Pokemon breed and get another one of those Pokemon. For instance, you breed 2 Pikachus, you get a 3rd Pikachu. Yada, yada, yada. The Missing No is actually the first attempt at a baby Pokemon. In later generations, you would have ones like Igglybuff and Cleafa and what have you.
Oh,
Kangaskhan was what would become Missing No. Kangaskhan was the unevolved form of Kangaskhan, and by breeding it, it was the only way to get Kangaskhan. But like I said, time constraints or what have you ended up being what undid it, and the Missing No is just the remnant code in the game itself. The fact that it was discovered was purely by accident.
well,
Go to
that's
Viridian
fascinating.
City, you talk to the man, he teaches you how to catch a Pokemon, and you immediately fly to Cinnabar Island, surf up and down the east coast of Cinnabar Island, and sure enough, you'll get a Missing No. Don't catch it though, it'll fuck everything up.
Interesting. That
Yeah.
is a fascinating story that I had no idea existed. Like, I did not know there was gonna be a breeding system in
It
this.
actually goes further, if you can believe it. Cubone evolves into Marowak. Marowak was supposed to evolve into Kangaskhan. The skull that Cubone wears is the skull of a Kangaskhan.
Interesting.
Kangaskhan would evolve into Cubone.
Do you think that they were limited by the technology of the time?
Possibly.
I would have loved to see this game come out on Super NES.
Eh, honestly, I think being on the Game Boy gives it character.
Oh, it does. And by the time 1998 rolled out, we were already playing on N64s.
That we were.
So, I
That
mean,
we were.
and I'm sorry, but the Pokemon Snap, I think, was the first N64 Pokemon game to come out.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I didn't hate it.
I did. I'm like,
You know,
why can't I just not catch these Pokemon and have fun? Why do I need to take their pictures? This is stupid.
well, Todd was a character introduced in the show. He was a small character, and I guess Game Freak really wanted to do something with him beyond the show. So giving him a game where you take pictures of Pokemon had a little charm to it. I mean, a lot of people were well, I wouldn't say a lot of people were shutterbugs at that time, but, personal digital cameras were, like, brand new at that time when it
Yeah.
came out. So they kinda capitalized on that, at least in my opinion. I don't know what they were thinking. I'm not a part of their, brain, so I don't know. But I actually kind of enjoyed Pokemon Snap for what it was,
Huh.
in that, you would always try to outdo your own best score.
Okay. Okay. I can get behind that.
Yeah, so you see my point there.
I do.
It's about personal growth, and it lets you do that.
That's the fair assessment, I guess. At the time that game would have come out and I would have played it, I would have probably been the most impatient teenager, or early teen that you'd ever met. So I probably was like, I need more action than this. Give me my Star Fox back. Give me my Ocarina of Time.
Yes, sir.
So back to the Game Boy games. So there's 151 Pokemon in this game, like
Yeah,
actual Pokemon. How many of those does anybody actually use?
mostly just the evolved forms.
But even of those, I mean, you're 151, and the vast majority of them are virtually unusable for most of the game.
Yeah, I'll
Like
give you that.
you can collect them all, but you're never gonna fight with your, you know, your
Caterpie.
well, you're gonna fight with your Caterpie if you want to get all the way up to the evolved form. But, like, Eradicate, I mean, unless you really like the Rattata and you really like Eradicate, you're probably not gonna use them.
Well, dude, I'll tell you what, Raticate is one of only 2 Pokemon that can learn Hyper Fang, and Hyper Fang is a very
Oh,
hard-hitting ability.
I actually beat the game with a Eradicate that had Hyper Fang.
There you
I
go.
never had to use another Pokemon after. It's funny when you go back and play these games as an adult with, like, proper RPG strategy, and when you know what you're doing.
Understanding what the stats are and all this, yeah, absolutely, it
Yeah.
hits
Oh, man.
different, but at the same time, are you really gonna use Sand Attack?
No,
Are you
not really.
really gonna use Growl or Leer or Tail Whip?
No, but I tell
No.
you what I'm going to do.
What?
I'm gonna evolve my Pikachu every single fucking time, and I'm gonna evolve him after he gets Quick Attack.
Exactly.
That way you can have a Raichu with Quick Attack and you're good to go.
Exactly.
I love my Raichu. I think Raichu is a way better Pokemon than Pikachu.
Well,
Flame me
Pikachu's
internet.
got the
Bring it
cuteness.
on. I've got a fireproof suit on right now. I'm not afraid.
Pikachu has the cute factor.
Yeah. And now everybody wanted a dragon type. You had to have a dragon type in your group.
Yep, and you were very, very limited on those.
There was only one move you needed. Do you remember what that move was?
Dragon Rage.
Was it Hyper Beam?
Well, Hyper Beam was not exclusive to dragon types.
But they all could learn it.
That's true.
And Hyper Beam was another one of those Hyper Fang style moves that just annihilated everything in one freaking hit because nothing could resist it. It's crazy.
Yes, indeed.
You know, you've got massive level spikes in these games where you're walking around owning an area, you get to your next area, and then boom, you're just getting your rear end kicked if
Mm.
you're not totally over leveled.
Yeah, at some points. However, me being me, I was one of those nerds when I was real little. I had my core group, my main fighter who would just deal out those big bastardly attacks, and if he somehow got taken down, my next one was not far behind in level, could handle himself easily. That's because I would catch a couple of them, I would level them all up to, I think, 10 levels past the, levels of the gym leader Pokemon in the region, and then do it all again.
So, what was your favorite type?
My favorite type was probably fire.
Same.
Fire!
Even though I had Pokemon Blue, I still picked Charmander as my starting Pokemon every time.
Well, why wouldn't you?
There was something about that little fire lizard I just loved.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, granted, I did like me my Bulbasaur. Because for when I was a little guy, I wanted a pet turtle real bad. And Bulbasaur reminded me of a turtle more than Squirtle did.
That's funny. I call my kid Squirtle all the time.
Really?
I constantly ask him, I ask my kid all the time, when are you going to evolve into a Wartortle?
Well, that's
And she
one way
just
to
looks at me
join the
and
army.
she just looks at me, poops her pants and spits her bank out. And makes noises, but she'll get there eventually. I love those videos. They're the most wholesome thing I've ever seen is when they take their little baby and they put up a picture of your Charmander, your Squirtle, and your Bulbasaur in front of the baby, and you say you're about to make a life decision, and then the baby crawls to whichever one they want and grabs. That's just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
I
It's
love it.
adorable. But,
S
another thing that I did wanna bring up about the, choosing your starter, when your rival picks the one that it's weak against every single time, I always thought that was so unfair.
Oh, yeah, well, they wanted you to get your ass kicked by that guy every single time. You were supposed to hate Gary.
Absolutely, but you know what?
Like, with a
I
name like
couldn't hate
Gary,
Gary. Well,
I
I have an Uncle
absolutely
Gary.
will.
Calm yourself.
What?
I have an Uncle Gary.
Oh, well, I'm
You
sorry,
watch
but
it, dude.
I hate that name. I just hate that name.
Yeah, well, but, and one thing I could not hate about Gary Oak was 3 words.
What's that?
The 3 words that made every 9 to 10-year-old shit their pants laughing every time.
What's that?
"Smell you later."
Smell you later, turd burglar. I
And
just
I
love
always
that.
remember naming my rival something like "asshole."
Oh, yeah, ass.
Just ass. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. That was one thing about Pokemon, you could name your character. They
And you
would
got to
recommend.
name the guy you hated.
Yes, you got to name your rival too. So, if you were a rambunctious little shit like us, you probably named him something wildly inappropriate or dumb.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the TV show for a little bit.
Alright.
So, I was on Amazon once that they had what said it was called Pokemon Red and Blue,
Yeah.
and it was like it was an anime show that I think was newer than all the others, and it retold the story of Ash in a much, much better context, than the original anime cartoon. So, I highly recommend if you can go out and find that, to go watch that instead of the original anime cartoon, and then go watch the shit that they poured down us little kids' throat with that original anime. And I will bag on it, but man, it was one of those things you woke up at and watched Fox Kids just
Yep.
to catch it either every morning before school or every afternoon, whenever it was on.
We always watched in the mornings at my house. My sister and I, we would get up way early at, like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning. We'd have our breakfast, we'd have our baths, and we'd get up and we'd watch Pokemon before school.
And, it was always on, like, either right before or right after Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
So, it was like, you had a rocking hour of TV right there, folks.
Yes, you did.
Maybe that'll have to be another show we do at some point, is talk about Power Rangers. I could talk a
Yeah,
while about
yeah,
that.
I could talk a little bit about it, but I only ever watched the original, Mighty
I
Morphin.
we will have an entire episode on just the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you like that idea, folks, email us in arguingwithdragons@gmail.com. So, the anime show. Whew, Ash. Ash is probably the most incompetent trainer. Like, where's PETA? You need PETA here.
PETA?
PETA. Because Ash is practically abusing these little fucking animals.
No, no, we don't want to involve PETA. Come on, man.
So, Pikachu refuses to evolve
Yes.
in this show. He tries to get him to, he tries to talk him into it, and he just doesn't do it. Why do you think that is?
Marketing.
You think it was all marketing?
Just about, yeah.
I think so too.
Pikachu was the face of the company.
The Japanese Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And,
Don't say the
and
D word.
I will say Disney. If I want to say Disney, I'll say Disney. They can't sue me for that.
Dude, don't say it 3 times, you'll summon Mickey.
His refusal to evolve, they played off as this story point of, oh, Pikachu was just afraid to evolve and he didn't want to. Yeah, he didn't want to because they might lose their funding if he did.
Oh, wait, did we
Ugh,
say that quiet part out loud?
I did. And that's okay. It
Yeah.
it fit the story. And as a kid, I didn't care. I thought it was cool and cute. But as an adult, I can clearly see that all the stuffed animals that have come through of Pikachu over the like decades since the show's been out.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Now,
And
let's be honest, though. The cute face sells the merchandise. Can't
it,
tell you how many Pikachu backpacks and hats and shirts and whatnot that I saw. Never saw one with Lickitung on it.
I would
When was
to
the last time you saw a Magmar sneaker set?
we need more Magmars in our lives.
I mean,
That thing was
Magmar was pretty
the
cool.
goofiest looking freaking Pokemon on earth.
Very goofy looking,
Just
yes, but for some reason, for whatever reason, it reminded me of a Doberman
if you saw a Magmar, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what we're talking about. This looks like a duck on fire, standing upright, wearing pantaloons.
with a volcano for a mouth instead of a bill.
It is just the most acid trippy thing you've ever seen in your life.
Well, that's anime in general,
I
if we're
I
being honest.
I mean, I'm here to be honest, sir. I am
Yeah,
here to
absolutely.
be honest.
But when it evolves, it becomes Magmortar, which is just a big, bulky, humanoid-looking creature with cannons instead of arms.
It had an evolution
Also on fire. Yeah, in the later version, yes.
in the later versions. Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
all the, I don't know what to even call them. They were, it was Magmar, Electabuzz, and there was a water one. They were their own little trio of uncommon Pokemon. I don't remember what the other one was, but they all had their own little evolution. Electabuzz became something else. I
I
don't
think
remember.
that all must have happened in the old or in the newer trilogy or the newer
Oh,
series.
no, 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 not even newer. It was like Gen 3, I think it was.
Ah,
Yeah.
Gen 3.
Yeah, and Gen 2 introduced the baby Pokemon, as mentioned earlier, but they had a baby version of Magmar and Electabuzz. And Jinx. Jinx was the other one, not water
So,
type.
you know, speaking of acid trippy, I mean, just looking at some of these Pokemon are just absolutely wild looking. Like, there's some that I totally agree with and think are really cool. Like, the basic 3, looking at the bird Pokemon, the rat Pokemon, some of those are really cute, but then when you start getting into, like, the 75-ish, like, what the hell is a Mankey supposed to be?
It's supposed to be a monkey, but with
I
steroids and or crack.
and no torso, just a head and arms and legs, apparently.
It's not fat,
And
it's just fluffy.
and how can you call, Machop and a Machamp, like, that's a person. He looks like
Basically,
a little
yeah,
person.
little bodybuilder.
And then, we got a rock with a head, a rock with arms, and a rock with biceps. We got blobs of goo that just have faces. We've got Pokemon that look like Pokeballs. We got what the hell is a Tangela supposed to be?
The mass of seaweed, I believe.
I don't even think he's seaweed. I don't even think he's a water Pokemon.
Yeah,
I mean, and then, of
it's
course,
water
we
and
got
plant, I do believe.
Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan,
Yeah,
and
Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, absolutely.
oh, I see what they were going with, but at the same time, they're like little creatures that look like people, but
Well,
not.
here's a little something for you.
What's that?
You know the snake Pokemon Ekans?
Yeah,
What's Ekans backwards?
snake.
Yeah, yeah. You know the Cobra one that it evolves into?
Yeah.
His name is Arbok. What's Arbok backwards?
Cobra.
Exactly. And you know Grimer, right?
Yeah.
His evolved form Muck. What's Muck backwards?
No. Nice try. Nice try, nice try. But take a look at the execute and executor.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a pineapple with 3 heads. I mean,
Or a palm tree.
what the shit was going on? And then you've got all these wild Pokemon like, gosh, what's the little one in the dress and the blonde hair that I always call Nicki Minaj?
Jinx. Except that's
Yes.
kind of racist.
It's I saw that on an honest trailer for 151 Pokemon, and it
Yeah.
just stuck with me
Actually,
forever.
Jinx did get some backlash for racial insensitivity.
Really?
Yeah, the way it
What
was
was she supposed
designed, she
to
had black face.
well, she's purple.
Now she is. Originally, it was black.
Was it? I don't
Yep.
remember it ever being black. Interesting.
Well, yeah, it
What
was originally blackface, and they got backlash for it.
what gets me is, like, you get into the ending, the last, or the last, like, 20 or so, 30 or so Pokemon, you get these really wild ones, and then all of a sudden you have this random bison with 3
Tauros.
tails. and that's it, and, like, there's nothing weird about him, he is just a bison with 3 tails, and it's like, "Okay," and then
Closer to
the
a water buffalo, but yeah.
and then the next thing's a goldfish with a crown. I mean, it's just, d whoever invented these, I guess I'm going on a rant, but whoever invented all these Pokemon, I mean, kudos for imagination. But what
Absolutely.
drug were you on? Where can you get this psychedelic drug that you freaking found that
Well
helped you create all these wild animals?
well, considering the Japanese's almost psychotic level of work ethic, I would imagine the drug was sleep deprivation.
It very well could have been.
Yeah. But
So
in that spirit, I've got a
okay.
little something for you.
All right, let's hear it.
I have 10 questions for you. Each one, I'm going to name 4 Pokemon, and I want you to pick out the one that is not real.
Okay.
All right. We'll start with a pretty easy one. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Pyropup, or Charmander.
Pyro Pup.
You are correct. Pyropup is not real. The rest are the starters from Gen 1. Now, which of these is not a real one?
Okay.
Bidoof, Chipnibble, Starly, or Shinx?
Chip Nibble.
You are correct. Chipnibble was kind of obvious, but at the same time,
That
yes.
was totally a guess. Okay.
All right, which of these is not a real one? Gengar, Alakazam, Phantasmag, or Machamp?
Phantasmag?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, look at me go.
Which is not a real one? Lechonk, Smoliv, Pawmi, or Oinkster?
Poinkster.
You are correct, but that was a total guess, wasn't it?
Was a total guess.
All right, next one. Sumnursa, Snorlax, Munchlax, or Slacking?
Munchlax?
Munchlax is the unevolved form of Snorlax.
Oh, gosh.
Sumnursa was the answer.
Oh, man. I lost
All
my nerd
right.
card.
Number 6, Gyarados, Clepodont, Magikarp, or Phoebus?
This what was the second one?
I got Gyarados, Clepodont, Magikarp, and Phoebus.
Clepidont.
You are correct, sir. All the other 3 are water types.
Right.
Tinkaton, Cerulege, Amarogue, or Clangor?
Amaroke?
Clangor was the correct answer.
Ah,
That one I actually had to look at the answer, to be
I
totally
all of
honest.
those sound like they could be like a Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah, they do, and, yeah, you're right, they all could be. Next up, Sylveon, Zephyrion, Umbreon, or Espeon?
The first one.
Sylveon is the fairy type. Wait, is it fairy type? I don't know. It's one of the later ones. But Zephyrion is the fake flying type EV evolution. All right, next up, Leafesaur, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, or Totodile.
The first one.
Leafesaur is correct, sir. The
I
rest are
knew all the
Gen
other ones.
2.
And you know where
Yeah.
I knew all the other ones from?
What?
Pokemon Go.
There you go.
You know, when Pokemon Go hit in July of 2016, I don't know about you, Michael, but I feel like that's the closest this world ever got to world peace.
Yeah, well, at least people weren't killing each other. They were too busy trying to catch imaginary animals on their phones.
I remember walking the parks in my hometown and people being like, "Yeah, hey, over there, there's a Charmander over there," or "Hey, there's a this over there," or "Hey, there's a that over there." And like I would just go drive around at night with friends and we'd just go catch Pokemon. And it was fun. Like it was like an addicting little dopamine hit every time you got to go find a rare one that you had to speed through your town to go get to before the timer ran out. And the raids were, oh, so frustrating.
Yeah, well, I
But,
gotta be honest with you. I enjoyed the novelty for about 20 minutes. Then I remembered I played World of Warcraft at the time.
oh, World of Warcraft pulling people away from the real world for so long.
Or the fake world, as in Pokemon.
Well, true, but, the fake world got me into the real world more
Oh,
because
sure.
I was
Oh,
going
sure.
out and driving around catching Pokemon with people.
Absolutely, but it was a little limiting, you have to admit.
Oh, yeah,
If you didn't live literally everywhere in the world at the same time, you would never catch them all.
it did spring a lot of VPN users to learn how to manipulate their GPS on their phone so they could be anywhere in the world they wanted to be. quickly
including
getting them
restricted
banned.
areas.
Yes, quickly getting them banned, mind you.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely, and then,
but
well,
kudos for Niantic to have a Stop in Area 51. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna mention that. That's kinda hilarious, to be honest. Imagine going there and, they release the, previously unreleased alien-type Pokemon.
it was a trap, ladies and gentlemen. If you swiped on the Area 51 Stop, I guarantee you, you were on a government list somewhere.
You can now not travel to the Middle East.
Yes. Your TSA pre-check has been revoked. So, like, it became an instant global phenomena, though. I mean, it was everybody and everywhere was talking about this game. The servers were so overloaded for the first few months that people couldn't even play it half the time.
Yeah,
And you know, it did not die for probably 2, 3 years.
absolutely, and,
It
to be honest with you, I don't know if there was any hype about it at first before it even released. I think it was just kind of a surprise drop.
it was hyped a tiny bit, but, like, how it was gonna play wasn't hyped. Like, they
Yeah,
said, "Hey, there's gonna be a cool Pokemon game out there that uses GPS." That's all I knew, and I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, it dropped? Oh, let's go download it and see what it's like."
and then suddenly it's all the internet talked about for, like, a year.
I tell you what, though, I quickly figured out who in my hometown were, like, truly losers because you'd see their names at every raid stop as champions. Like, I'd be like, "Oh, I," and some of them I knew in real life too, and I mean, they're alright people, but man, it's like, this was your life for, like, 2 years. It
That it
had to have
was.
been.
That it
Or
was. Not mine, though, I was too busy with World of Warcraft.
well, if I recall, in 2016 was the year that you met your old lady, so
2015, actually, New
New
Year's
Year's
Eve.
Eve. Yeah, so that would have been your first year as a happily taken man.
Yeah, absolutely, and I am proud to say I'm still with her.
I know. It's a beautiful thing. Love is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is, despite the fact that I am a chronically online nerd with a lot of terrible hot takes on a lot of subjects, she loves me.
I know my wife is not even a nerd and she loves me. And I sometimes look at myself in the mirror and think, why? Why does she even love me? What is it about me?
Well, I've just hit that point in my life where I look in the mirror every morning and think to myself, "That ain't accurate.
To fix the tuning quick.
That can't be right."
Uh, oh, trust me, as we get older, it's right. It's
Yeah,
right.
but I got one more for you.
All right, let's hear it.
Number 1, Lucario, Garchomp, Strikeclaw, or Togekiss?
Toga kiss.
False. That is the final evolved form of Togepi.
Oh my gosh.
Strikeclaw was the fake one.
Well, see, Strike Claw would have made more sense.
I don't know about that.
I mean, Strike Claw sounds kind of like a Mega Man villain.
Well, yeah, I suppose I can see it.
So when Pokemon Go came out, not only did it cause this big boom in people going outside, but what happens, Mike, when people are glued to their phones and they go outside?
They wander into traffic like 2-year-olds.
Yes, they do. People were getting run over, folks, out in the wilds when they were out Pokemon hunting.
The ironic part is the people that hit them with their cars were also staring at their phones trying to catch the ever-elusive
Uh,
Dragonite.
yes, they had to update the game to prevent people from driving while playing. So if you're
Yeah.
traveling too fast, this game would shut off and tell you, "Sorry, but you're going too fast. Are you a passenger in the car?" And for a while that would work, but then eventually it just didn't work anymore. So I would find more and more people literally driving 15 miles per hour or slower through town, and you knew they were playing Pokemon because
Yeah.
that was the speed limit you couldn't break if you wanted the game to still work.
Wonder how many people got pulled over for it.
You know, about that time is when a lot of laws were coming out for texting and driving or being on your phone and driving. They were starting to make traction in those years, so and, you know, this is for the youngins out there. This all really happened. We're not just sitting here making this up on our podcast, as much as I'd like to think we were. But it really did. We were all 30-year-old nerds, and it wasn't Gen 7 or Gen 6 or your Toga Pika Poo from whatever Sapphire Crystal monkey game, whatever. It was Gen 1. It was Charizard. It was Pikachu. It was Squirtle that got us outside and got
Yes, it
everybody
was.
in the country hooked.
And I've got a metric for you.
What's that?
While an exact number is unknown, thousands of incidents of distracted driving, traffic accidents, and police stops were reported shortly after the Pokemon Go 2016 release, with over 110,000 instances of distraction recorded in just 10 days. With one incidence, 50 plus motorists were caught in 1 week in Perth, Australia, while a Washington state trooper found one driver with 8 phones.
8 phones? I
Eight
had I
phones.
did see a lot of people riding bicycles that would have multiple phones on their handlebars playing Pokemon Go.
Yep, and, you wanna know an even more, well, positively just depressing thing about that? There's people that others would hire and hand their phones to them to go out and catch Pokemon for them.
Yes,
That is sad.
this was one of the original pay somebody to help level you up kinda games.
I wouldn't say original by any stretch of the imagination. The practice has
Well,
been around since video games probably existed.
I mean, maybe, but it was very mainstream for
Yeah,
this
very
game.
true. Very true.
It's like only the diehards knew you could pay somebody in China to go over there and level up your World of Warcraft character like we talked about and,
I don't know
have
about
that
the diehards, it was pretty common knowledge. I
that
mean, only
is
the diehards would actually do it, but,
like there's a certain level of people who got into World of Warcraft that much versus, the average person on the street.
fair enough.
People might know what World of Warcraft was, but
Yeah, true enough. But
so
everybody knows what Pokemon is.
we've been a little hard on Pokemon. Maybe not too hard because it's kind of a beautiful little nostalgia game.
Yes, it is.
But I will tell you why I loved the original Gen 1 Pokemon.
Go for it.
It was simple. There was 151 Pokemon, that's not too many that you can't memorize, at least remember the name if you saw a picture. Yeah, the game was clean, it was turn-based, which I love turn-based games. It had, the sprites in the game were really well made for a Game Boy,
Yeah, I'll
and
give you that.
Game Boy had hours of game time you could play on it because the batteries were so good. The late '90s was perfect for this kinda game to be out because social media wasn't out there to spill all the secrets. If you wanted to learn the secret of missing no, you needed to go find that kid who knew,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
or you need to go buy Nintendo Power or something that may have talked about it at some point, but, like, rumors spread about this game. Like, you found out Mew was under a truck from your friend, not from a YouTube video.
And that was actually true.
Yeah. I
That was
mean,
in the game, but it wasn't coded properly, so you couldn't do it.
I thought you could catch him in the game.
Not originally. Originally, there was an event where you would get a code that you could plug into your game through the port that you would normally plug the link cable into.
Oh, I did not
Yeah.
know about that.
Yeah, there was, I think Mew's first official release into the games was from an event.
Huh, interesting. I thought he
Yeah.
was always coded in the game because I remember getting him in my copy of Blue.
Mewtwo was always in the game.
He was as well.
Yeah, but Mew, I don't believe was.
Interesting. That'll be something I'll have
Although
to
a
look up
couple of
later.
kids in my school were, there was a couple of Mews floating around in the game cartridges in my school.
I had seen them as well. I fought one of them once. I was
Yeah.
like, "This is so unfair."
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But, if Mike's wrong, please feel free, wite us in,
Oh, yeah,
arguingwithdragons at
absolutely. If you're gonna
gmail.com.
correct me, please do so.
I
I
correct them all
am
the
not
time.
above being corrected.
So, the atmosphere in this game was perfect also.
I'll
Like,
give you that, yeah.
the music was good, memorable. The towns had that I always liked how each town had a color theme on the
Yeah.
Game Boy Color.
Well, I was moved on from Gen 1 by the time the Game Boy Color came out. I was at Gen 2.
My first Game Boy was a Game Boy Color,
Mine was
so
the gray brick.
I never knew the difference. But I loved the little color schemes that they put on those towns later in the ga in the game, in yellow, I believe.
Yeah.
And the gym leaders, iconic. I mean, I know you hate that word, but those battles were just ingrained in you after
Yes,
playing
they
these
were.
games.
Yes, they were.
And, I mean, to think about social interaction when this game came out, like, you had to find a kid who had a link cable,
Yes, you did.
And then if you had that kid, you know, you were like, "Oh, man, I'm gonna fight him." And then it's like that tension comes up like, am I gonna fist fight him? I mean, we're playing this game. Am I gonna win? Am I gonna be cool? Do I know enough about this game? And then social anxiety just go, "Wah!"
Absolutely. Social anxiety go brr, but at the same time, I gotta wonder, red versus blue, Crip versus blood, Republican versus Democrat.
Do you think that that was intentional,
I
or
don't
were they
know.
just picking colors?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I feel
And
well, red and blue are both primary colors.
I think they would have been better suited if they had come out with green, and you bought the
There
copy of the
was a
game.
green version.
If you bought the copy of the game, whatever color you picked to buy should have been your starter Pokemon.
Well, that would just, that would have just been a smart move on Game Freak's part because then you'd have to buy all 3.
That's absolutely right. What other manufacturer could make you buy 3 copies of the same damn game just to collect 3 different Pokemon?
Well, no other manufacturer because Pokemon's the only one that manufactures Pokemon, but I see your point.
I mean,
Although, I have purchased Skyrim at least 5 times.
yeah, I've purchased it a few too many. I have it on PlayStation 4, I have it on computer, and then I have the VR edition.
I have 3 different versions on PC and 1 on Xbox.
Bethesda.
And then I also got the, super special version when I had my Amazon Alexa for about a week.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
That'll be another topic we'll talk about on another day.
absolutely, and I am looking forward to it.
Was Gen 1 good?
Yes.
Was it? Or was
Yes.
it just because it was first? If this came out today, if Pokemon had never existed in the ethos and today they just dropped Gen 1, is it gonna be popular like it was?
No, and for one specific reason.
Why?
Because, kids these days would rather stand at a crowded area and shout, 6, 7, than play a video game.
You know, I hate to say it, but I think you're right. I think if this game came out today, the kids' attention spans are just not there for a turn-based RPG.
Not at all, and
Yeah.
if they didn't grow up with it, you don't know the heart of it. You really don't.
And I'm not sure the anime would hit the same way.
I guarantee you it wouldn't.
'Cause I've tried to have my kids sit down and watch it with me and, you know,
They just weren't into
theirs
it, were
are
they?
just like, "Nah, this is the kind of cartoon I want."
Exactly.
It was my first that was, Pokemon was my first anime,
Really?
like, I had never seen an anime before Pokemon,
I
and
think
I
I
didn't even
caught
realize it
Sailor
was an
Moon
anime.
before I caught Pokemon.
See, well, I guess around the same time Pokemon came out is about the same time I saw Samurai Pizza Cats for the first time,
Well,
and that was an
Samurai
anime
Pizza
also.
Cats. Was it?
Yes.
Was it actually an anime?
It absolutely was.
I never actually watched it myself. I do know that because you've told me about it, that it was basically just a ripoff of the Ninja Turtles.
It was kinda like Cats or the Ninja Turtles. They ate pizza, they grew cool samurai armor, and they beat up black crows, and it
Hmm.
was really cool.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find it on stream sometime.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you tell me about these next gens because, Pokemon Go kept me going with, like, Gen 2 for a little bit. I remember some of the names, and when Gen 3 hit, it just becomes overwhelming.
Okay. Yeah.
So, tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about it. Why what did the future generations actually fix this game more
Oh,
or
absolutely.
alright, how
Absolutely.
so?
Well, Gen 1, for instance, a lot of the stats didn't mean dick. They were just there. Like special attack, attack, defense, special defense, etc. They basically meant nothing in the original game. Sure they were there, and sure they did something, but not that you would notice. But in later versions, later generations, it's kind of important to make sure your Pokemon are optimized for certain encounters, etc., etc. Especially with the stats, you gotta be sure that they've got the right number of this and that's added to them, like, certain, one-use items you can give them that would permanently boost their stats. It's very much involved in later versions compared to Gen 1. Gen 1, You give your Pokemon the best hitting attacks and you're a winner. That's about it. But yeah, it really evolved from there. But on the same token, it innovated, so to say.
It did.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, it did.
As it continued, say, for instance, Gen 2, easy enough, it introduced not only breeding like we spoke about earlier, but also a day-night cycle where certain Pokemon would only appear at nighttime. And it ran in real time. It had an internal battery in the cartridge that would keep the clock in-game going in accordance with real time.
Oh, so it
And
had a
you
little
could
CMOS
even
battery.
add daylight savings time.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
See, that's got Nintendo written all over it.
that it does. Nintendo were the innovators at that time period of gaming.
I think they still are. I don't think they've ever grown out of that.
I'm not going to disagree, not at least wholeheartedly, no.
When the Super Nintendo was done, they changed into an innovative company. The
That they
N64 was
did.
before was ahead of its time. Then
Absolutely it
after
was.
that, the Wii and the GameCube and all
Well, the
that stuff.
Wii was the first thing with motion controls, and the PlayStation Move and the Xbox Kinect, they were pale imitators.
Yeah, they imitated, and they didn't even do it well.
Well, I would argue that the Kinect did something right,
Yeah, I guess the camera does work
but
out pretty well, but
PlayStation Move, no, not at all.
fair enough.
But then
Fair
again,
enough.
Sony has always been
So
the
what's the
Kmart of
most
video games.
what's the most I disagree, but what's the most innovative thing that the new gens of Pokemon did?
Well, I'm
Well,
gonna be totally honest with you, they took a real step backwards.
oh, yeah?
Yeah. In the Scarlet and Violet versions, your starter Pokemon is a legendary Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in the earlier games, the earlier generations, you had to work hard to get a legendary. You had to. If
Oh,
you had bad luck throwing a Pokeball and you didn't save right beforehand, you were out of luck.
I know exactly what you're talking about
Uh-huh.
because, like, if you didn't get that Zapdos with that Ultra Ball at the time,
Mhm.
and, like, you had to work hard to get it with an Ultra Ball, otherwise you were wasting your 1 Master Ball.
Yep, and you had to save that from Mewtwo,
Yep.
unless your sibling threw it at a Rattata, and then you beat them up for it.
I
Or,
know.
as the old adage goes, they erased your game because they wanted to try it.
Oh, that's awful. That's
Mhm.
awful.
But
So
the legendaries being your starter isn't even the worst offender.
oh, okay.
These legendary Pokemon turned into motorcycles.
What?
Yep.
See,
Your starter Pokemon could
that's where
turn
these
into a motorcycle.
that's where these games lose me.
Yep.
I mean,
It's a step in absolutely the wrong direction. But not only that, the entire world just feels empty. When we spoke about Quest 64 in the Nintendo 64 episode we talked about how the world is big and empty.
yep.
That is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in a nutshell. They got a little too big for their britches, and they made the world huge, but unpopulated, very little to speak of. You go into a town, it doesn't even look like a town. It just looks like a couple of buildings with a very basic texture and a couple of people milling about.
Wow. That's sad.
Extremely. It's like they literally took the towns from the original games, upscaled them, and made them 3D.
That's too bad.
Yes, indeed it is. How hard the Titans fall.
Well, it just goes to show you, folks, that after so many sequels and so many attempts at reinvention, sometimes it's okay to just, let something die. Let
Fast and
something go.
Furious.
And yeah, Fast and Furious is a good example of that. Like, you can only
What are they on, 10?
yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can squeeze out of a franchise
They should have
before
stopped at
you
3.
run out. What they should be doing is, and I don't know if you've seen this trend or not, but a lot of people have been using AI to generate Unreal Engine 5 versions of old games.
Oh, yeah?
And I've been seeing pictures a lot come up of Pokemon Red and Blue done in Unreal Engine 5.
I would love to
And
play that.
exactly, Nintendo, if you're ever going to listen to our podcast, because, somebody at Nintendo's probably out there listening to random podcasts of losers like us.
Except
We
they'd have to translate it into Japanese or, or speak English, but
Nah, I'm
probably
sure they
not.
know enough English to hear me say this right now. Stop trying to retell stories like that. Go back and remaster some of the ones you've already done, because you could go back right now and fix everything that was broken with Red and Blue and Yellow. You could re-release those games right now as mobile apps, and I promise you, you will make millions and millions of dollars from all us losers out here willing to go buy them.
Absolutely. If I heard that Red and Blue were being upscaled, remastered, remade with a fresh coat of paint, I may very well drop $50 to buy it.
I would go buy a Switch just to play it if they put it on Switch even.
I already have a Switch, so
And then you could use the internet to trade with your buddies and your friends and all that. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
absolutely.
And while we're at it, Nintendo, I don't care what your feelings are on MMORPGs, but you better freaking make one for Pokemon, because this game has been ripe for an MMO forever. And I can't for the life of me figure out why you won't do it, Nintendo.
Well, there is a Pokemon MMO out there.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is.
What is it?
Pal World.
Nintendo sued Power World for that,
I'm aware, and they lost.
and they lost because it is not the same. It's
Yeah,
actually not
exactly.
Power World's actually not an MMO. It's an open world game.
Well, either way.
But I've actually had great interest in playing that game, but I just don't have time.
Thought about it myself, but I mean, it's just Pikachu with a gun, basically.
Yeah, kind of different. Like as much as you do fighting and all that with your Pokemon in Power World, you basically turn the monsters into an industrial complex. It's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, you can create all kinds of random weird crap using your pals in that game.
Imagine if we were to combine Pokemon and Minecraft.
I would
Create a buildable world where you can use Pokemon as resources instead of just fighters.
I would just love to just have an MMO where you could just run out in the beautiful world they've created, have, maybe the first 2 gens of Pokemon running around in different zones, and, you just go out, you use your Pokemon to fight, and you can challenge other trainers that are running around the world doing their thing, and just make a cool, fun, interactive MMO out of it. It
Well,
is perfect.
I would debate the point that with an MMO, you've got to have an excess of things to do, so it's never a dull moment. With Pokemon, it's kind of fight or fight or fight. Those are your
Now,
options.
plenty of exploration, plenty of go out, gather
Well, sure, there's
badges,
explorations. Sure, there's getting
plenty of
badges, but what do you
rare
do to get
Pokemon to
badges?
find.
You
Yeah,
fight.
you fight. Yeah. Well, guess what you do in World of Warcraft? You
You
fight.
fight,
You fight,
absolutely,
you
but then
fight.
you
And that game
also
is
got, you got professions, you've got lore, you've got
you
this,
could
you've got that.
absolutely do all of that in Pokemon. You could have
No,
the
I
profession
agree,
making
I
potions.
agree. There are those options, but at the same time, I personally, this is just my opinion here, I just don't think it is right for an MMO.
I think it's perfect for an MMO. I'll
Now,
disagree.
granted granted, talking a little bit more about the anime here, they had so much more to the world in the anime, even in just Gen 1. There
They
was
did.
just so much more. Like, there was a couple of episodes talking about a lost city called Pokemopolis.
Whoever named this shit.
It's
Oh my god.
hilarious, I will admit, but at
It's
the
so
same time,
stupid.
I mean, just that kind of thing that is exclusive to the TV show. It hasn't shown up in a video game at all. It's just kind of neat.
Yeah, that's what I think that sums up that last thing you just said sums up Pokemon in general. It's kinda neat. It's a whole 'nother world of these cute little lovable creatures that teaches you how to not only train and build up the strength of your creatures, but also how to love them.
Exactly,
And
exactly. I
and
mean,
yes, kids, you should not be fighting your animals that you love dearly against
no,
each other.
no, absolutely not. I've already mentioned Michael Vick.
But exactly, these Pokemon are out there for you to love, kids, and you should love them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody's got their favorites.
So, Mike, we're gonna end this segment on a
Well,
question.
wait. Before we end the segment, you got one more game we got to talk about that was wholly underrated for its time.
What's that?
The Pokemon trading card video game.
They made a video game off the trading card game?
That they did.
I didn't wanna talk about the card game, I was
It
trying to avoid
was
it.
fun.
Really?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it worked like the Pokemon battle system. You walk around, you find a trainer, you fight him, you win, you get money, you walk away. But it implemented the rules of the actual card game, and all the Pokemon cards that were available at the time were included, and they all operated exactly in the game as they did in real life.
So you could have all those super rare cards.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they were even treated rarely in the game too.
Magic the Gathering did that back in the days of MS-DOS. They
Yeah.
had this Windows 95 based game called Duel of the Planeswalker that you walked around this map, and every time somebody jumped out to attack you, they challenged you to a game of Magic the Gathering.
Jesus
But you could
Christ.
have all the cards from the original alpha beta releases and all that, and it was really, really cool. And you sat down basically and played Magic against not only the bandits who tried to attack you, but if you went and found a dragon in a cave, he wanted to play Magic the Gathering with you.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ. You got actually,
Hey, little
it's
kid,
the
you
same
got
for
some
The
cards
Witcher 3,
here.
dude. The same thing in The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
They had a built-in card game in there too called Gwent,
I think a lot of games that are really cool had built-in card games.
or collectible this and that of
I
some
loved
sort within it.
the games, the Final Fantasy 8 and 9 had good built-in card games, and that was fun. That was fun, and
Yeah.
I always lose all my cards in the very first time I play because I suck at them.
I just never played the collectible card games when they were side quests in video games. I just never did.
Now
But,
you're missing out, my friend.
the one final note I wanna make here about the Pokemon trading card game video game for Game Boy Color, the soundtrack was awesome. Like, just the main theme you hear when you're doing a regular battle is so jaunty and so catchy and so memorable. It's just so much fun.
I love it when games have fire soundtracks.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Gran
yeah.
Turismo 3 on PS1.
Never played it because I made good
Total
decisions and didn't get a PlayStation.
fire soundtrack. All right, so one last question here before we wrap the episode, Mike.
Shoot.
Out of Gen 1, what was your favorite Pokemon? And
My favorite out of
not
Gen 1.
not your favorite Pokemon because it was the strongest in the game or it was one you fought with the game. No. Which Pokemon, if you could pluck out and love, like just love as your own pet, would you pick?
As my own pet. Yeesh, that's a good question. When I was growing up, we would always pick our favorite based on what we were best with in battle. Absolutely, but just if we were to have it as a pet, ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. But I mean, I feel like Snorlax would be great as a companion.
Why is that?
If you need someone to snuggle, always go for a fat guy.
Always go for the bad guy. So you want to snuggle
They
with
got the
another fat.
warmth about them, and they got well, okay, 2 things. 1, more to love means cushions, built-in cushions. 2nd, snacks.
Oh yeah, they probably be eaten, don't they?
Oh, yeah, for sure, and Snorlax is known for that. He wakes up, he eats, he goes back to sleep.
Okay, now don't be typing.
I
What
ain't.
what number Pokemon was Snorlax?
I couldn't tell you.
143.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you that for the life of me, but honestly, Snorlax just kinda strikes me as the one that would be best for people who have depression because it feels like just the snoring that he does is akin to a cat's purr. It has healing properties to it.
Hmm.
But
Gotcha.
at the same time, I gotta be honest with you, I always imagined having a Vulpix.
A Vulpix, okay.
Vulpix, yeah. It's just a little fox. It's a cute little fox.
I can
But it can
sympathize
breathe
with that.
fire.
I would probably love to have a Growlithe.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
think that would be the ultimate companion Pokemon.
Mm, I like foxes more than I like dogs, if I'm being
Foxes are
honest.
cute. You're absolutely right.
They're dog hardware with cat software.
That's the best I've never heard that compared. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that first here. Dog hardware with cat software. That
Yeah,
is the new description of foxes, scientifically proven, folks.
absolutely.
All right,
Scientific by
guys.
me.
This is gonna wrap up this episode of Arguing with Dragons. If you've got any feedback, as a matter of fact, write us in. Tell us what your favorite original Pokemon was and why. Arguingwithdragons@gmail.com. We are dying to hear from you folks. Dying.
Yeah.
So, Mike, episode 6 in the bag. What are we gonna talk about next week?
I don't know. What should we talk about next week?
Hmm. I think it's time.
Time?
I think it's time for Skyrim.
Ooh. Well, buckle up, buckaroo.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to talk about Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. And Mike's going to tell us exactly why you should probably play the Elder Scrolls games that came before it.
Absolutely, I
And
will.
why
Hell, we might devote more episodes to the series.
it's entirely possible, folks. There's never ending list of things for us to talk about. But next week, we're going to talk about Mike's favorite game of all time.
Really?
Yes, I think that's Skyrim, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap us up. Make sure you're sending us emails, arguingwithdragons@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, folks, and you have yourselves a great evening.
Good night, good luck, and good morning.